Hi, my name is Matt Kosterman. I'm a 56-year-old white guy living in Chicago, Illinois. For the first 50 plus years of my life, I didn't think I was allowed to be here. Not just here in Chicago, but here, on Earth, in a body. I suffered from depression for most of my life. I smoked my first joint at age 11 and had my first drink of Southern Comfort straight from the bottle at age 13. While the cannabis never really took hold as an addiction, I drank alcohol for the next 20 years, many times to excess. In 1998, I began psychotherapy, and in the year 2000, I started on antidepressants. I spent 12 years on them and 15 years in traditional talk therapy. Meanwhile, I built a successful business, became a father to 2 amazing girls, and rehabbed an old house in a nice suburb. I did all the things. In 2010, I went through divorce, foreclosure, and bankruptcy. Fun times. After much flailing about, I got my head on straight in 2015, only to begin experiencing severe chronic pelvic pain along with fibromyalgia. I spent nearly 3 years in the Western medical system trying desperately to heal. In 2018, out of money and out of patience, my healing journey really kicked into gear after my first magic mushroom trip. The years since have been an amazing and challenging ride. I've traversed the physical and not so physical worlds and been fortunate to work with many, many talented healers. As a result of all my efforts, I now find myself in a place of receiving, contentment, and prosperity, the likes of which had eluded me for most of my life. There's a man named Daryl Anka who channels a being called Bashar. Bashar describes the process of engaging with a healer, that of giving yourself what is essentially a permission slip to move towards wholeness, healing, and right relationship. This podcast is an effort to share some of what I've learned and introduce you to some of the people and ways that literally gave me what feels like my permission slip for existence. It's also an effort to continue to spread the word that the traditional Western medical system, while effective for a great many things, is not necessarily the be-all end-all solution to every health problem, especially when the problem may be more spiritual than it is physical, as it was in my case. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, and do all the social media things that help spread the word. Share these links with people directly in your community. It is my sincere hope that you and others will benefit from my experiences. Hi, welcome back to the Permission Slip. I'm Matt Kosterman, and today I'm here with Lizzi Cutler, transformational coach and energy healer. What are we calling? What are we going as these days, Lizzi?
Lately, I've just been saying intuitive because it just sort of encompasses all of the things.
All of it. So Lizzi Cutler, intuitive, is here with me today. Thanks for being here, Lizzi. It's great to see you again. It's been a little while.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You bet. So, just a little background. I was introduced to Lizzi a couple of summers ago, I believe it was. I don't even remember the whole chain. And ended up doing, I think, what were you doing at that time? Like a 6-session engagement or something like that. And we did a deep dive to clear out a number of energetic blocks that I had to opening to abundance. And all I can say is that it worked. Abundance has been flowing ever since. And I'm very grateful. There were things that came up that I never would have expected, that never came up in many, many deep dives with plant medicines and therapy and all kinds of things. So I asked Lizzi if she wanted to be on the show so I could bring her work to my small corner of the world and let others know some of the other things that are possible. So with that, I guess, why don't you just give us a little background about Lizzi Cutler? Where did you grow up? How was life growing up? How did you get into this work? What's the sort of story arc? Everybody's got their traumas and their big ones, ones and all of that.
So I would say my 90-second version of that is I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago in a very nice, I guess, relatively traditional household. Mom and dad were divorced really early, but then my stepdad moved in when I was 3. So I always had, 2 parents in the home, and a kind of bio dad was always around. An older sister who's very strong-willed, shall we say, a very strong presence.
Uh-huh.
So I took my lead from her. She was we were latchkey kids. It was the 80s. We all came home, dumped our backpacks, and got on our bikes and rode around like the Goonies.
Yeah.
Very fun in that sense, fun childhood. And I always like, I remember from a very young age scratching my skin and thinking, like, I don't want to be in a human body again. Why do I have to be back here? So there was absolutely this knowing that I had of, oh shit, how did I land here again? And I remember being little, like under 8 years old, and saying to one of my mom's best friends, Bonnie, I think I've been here before. And she giggled and said, I think you have too, Liz. You have too.
Couple 10,000 times.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of always had like that curiosity, and I would always go visit one of my aunts in San Francisco who would take me to Haight-Ashbury, and I would always want to see a psychic or a tarot or anything I could get my hands on. It was like, just get me in here. Stuff like that was always really intriguing and interesting to me. I also knew how to fit in and how to be sort of inside the circle while feeling very much outside the circle. And I think that's a common theme for most of the clients that I've worked with, is that we have that sort of like foot in both worlds kind of feeling. I call my, marketing people always ask me, who's your ideal client? And she's a type A empath.
Hmm.
She or he are very career oriented, successful, go, go, go. I want to do the things. And also, holy shit, I can feel everything that's happening around me. And why are other people feeling that?
Why are they
So,
not feeling like you assume
why are they
you assume
yeah.
everybody is, and they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. And that's really how I started doing what I'm doing now. I thought everybody was doing this.
Hmm.
I didn't know. And I moved to Tokyo with my now ex-husband when I was 27 or 28, did a yoga teacher training that was very heavily focused on meditation. And in meditation, I would kind of like squeak one eye open and be like, is everyone seeing that? So, did everyone else just see what I just saw and feel what I was like, it was the first time that I was feeling energy
Mm.
when I was just sitting still and being quiet. And so that was kind of I would say, entry point to my real exploration into what was always happening, but I didn't realize it wasn't happening for everybody. And that just sort of started the unfolding. Like, through my divorce process, I feel like things were finally unlocking for me. And it started with I would know who was going to text, and then the text would come through.
Hmm.
Or I would think of a client who I hadn't seen in weeks from my yoga sessions, and she would turn the corner
Mm.
2 hours later. So just getting stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is so fun. Maybe I have this thing,
Right.
but like, that's not really helpful to just know who's going to turn the corner. What do I do?
Can I use it to play the market? Like what, can I?
Right. Like, what are we working with here?
Right.
And so I started doing just a million different trainings, and started with Reiki and saw a bunch of different intuitives, and slowly started kind of figuring out what the Lizzi Cutler method was, and taking tidbits from each thing and kind of just without judgment, really just leaving behind something that didn't work for me,
Hmm.
and trusting that it was going to be okay. And then really just practicing on people. And I was still teaching yoga and meditation at the time as I started incorporating this work into my career. And it slowly, like it was 100% yoga, then 90% yoga, and it slowly moved. And then once COVID hit, I was like, oh, I think this is it.
And the career was as a yoga instructor. That was the.
It was probably like 40% yoga at that point. Like every time I would it was really a money thing. Like as soon as I was making enough money as an intuitive slash energy worker, I would drop more classes. And my sister would always joke with me, like, okay, you're getting closer to dropping that Tuesday, 4 p.m. Like it was like, okay, what's next? Which is the class that I'm dreading
Uh-huh.
I get to drop next.
Sure.
And then once COVID, like my favorite class, the studio closed. And I was like, holy moly, this is it. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to do this full time. And now 5 years later, here I am. So I've really been doing energy work for like uh, 10 to 11 years. And full time, it's been 5.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so energy work, the term energy gets thrown around all over the place
Yeah.
these days,
Yeah.
and energy healer, energy worker. And how I've had my experience of many different forms of that. How does that show up for you when you say energy work? What do you,
Okay, so actually, before I give mine, I
yeah.
want you to just clock how you would define me in your head, because I'm really curious as to because you see all these different people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be very interested on your take on this.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I describe it is I can see and feel and hear where somebody has something that's blocked. I can read people from a photo, dead or alive. I can see where things are blocked. I can kind of get to what the core, I'm putting this in air quotes, core issues or core um, processes that we're working on
Yeah.
are, and I can put language to it. I can move what needs moving in certain situations, and things that I can't move for the client, I can put words to, okay, how do we do
Mhm.
this?
And what, and who's we?
Yeah, that's a good one too. The way that I define we is it's my higher self talking to your higher self. I
Okay.
don't really break it down into, are you a guide? Are you an angel? Are you,
Right.
because the reality is I kind of hear it all the same way.
Sure.
And it feels to me like it's your highest self, your soul self talking to my soul self. And the way that I hear it and feel it is very my language. So it'll be like, move that thing. Like there's nothing fancy or
Yeah.
stuffy about it. It's like, get that shit out of the way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't need that
It's
anymore.
gumming up the works.
Yeah. And I don't, it just the way that it comes through is sassy and fun and playful because that's who I am.
Yeah. Right.
So it comes in ways that I can understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you, do you have a sense, talking with Alethea, who I interviewed a couple episodes back, of sort of the toroidal field of a person, of the energy moving in a field, moving in a like a donut, and there's blocks in that flow. Is that how it shows up for you, or no?
No,
No.
it shows up for me as, and I do my best. I listened to this Oprah interview and I never forgot it. Oprah said that like when it was Sally Jesse and like Donahue, like all the afternoon people,
Yeah.
she told her team, like, I have blinders on. I'm not interested in what anyone else is doing because I just want to do me and I
Yeah.
want to stay really loyal to me.
Yeah.
So I've taken that approach because when I start hearing about other things, I'm like, oh shit, should I be doing that? I get
Sure.
into my second guessing.
Yep. Yeah.
So I might not know a lot of the language that you use, but the way that it shows up for me, the way that I see it is like almost like a chalk outline of like a dead person.
Okay.
That we see. I see the chalk outline, and then it becomes a little bit cartoonish where it's like I'm flying inside your body.
Mm.
So say like, okay, I'm in front of your spine. I'm kind of near your solar plexus, but I'm like a few inches down, and I'm pulling out this. Um, it's like I'm an energetic cleaning lady where I'm like
Mm.
pulling out the dust bunnies from the back of the closet. And when I'm pulling that shit out, so I can feel that there's something stuck in there, I can feel that something is askew. And so the pipe is blocked.
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, it feels like when you've got a lemon seed in your straw, and I'm going in and I'm grabbing it, I'm pulling it out, I'm handing it back to the universe. They neutralize it. And they're saying this is related to when you were 6 and the kids at school suddenly started picking on you. And this is what they're showing me. Does that resonate for you? And I'm asking for the feedback because I want to make sure it's coming in language that's working for the client I'm speaking to, not for me.
Sure. 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 Yeah. Yeah. And that tracks with my experience of you. It was, there was and also you would, at the time, the way you were working was you would prompt me to go into, you had a list, I think, of fear, or you were getting fed, like go into the fear of X, go into the fear of Y.
Yeah.
The fear
So
of,
when I'm doing that, so the way that my work works is I do these intro sessions where like we both lay down on Zoom and I just am intuitively talking to you for an hour. I think you and I skipped that because we had already talked so much.
right, right.
Um, but normally in that session, that's when I'm doing like the lemon seed thing or like moving you
Okay.
back into alignment. And then if it feels like a good fit, I'll offer the 6-pack
Got it.
package. And in those, it's where I'm muscle testing from this massive book of words.
Hmm.
Like, is it a fear of being too confident? Is it a fear? And if I were just saying this to you, like, Matt, you really had a fear of being seen, you'd be like, no, I don't have that. Right. So it's not that these words necessarily, I say them and people are like, oh my God.
Right, 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 right.
It's more of like, I don't think so. And then once I guide you through the thing and we get back to where it was programmed, you're like, holy shit balls.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's right. That was my experience because there was, and then you clear whatever shows up,
Yeah.
the blockage. And the only one that I remember that stuck with me is when my father fell out of a tree that he was trying to cut down, ironically, to save money. And he ended up breaking his back. And I think I was 11 when it happened. I hadn't, thought about it over the years, but it was never anything that I tied to my inability to sort of manifest what I wanted, my
Yeah.
scarcity fear. But there was a whole lot of fear around, was he going to walk again? He was in the hospital for 6 weeks. He had to wear like a turtle shell for, a year. And so it was fascinating. So I was like, oh, wow, like that,
Yeah.
And then there was, a dozen other little, dust bunnies, as you put it.
Right. So there are usually moments where someone will have those aha moments of like, oh my God, this thing in second grade. I haven't thought about that since third grade.
Right.
How could that be fucking with me now? And the reality is, the way that I kind of describe it is the universe is saying yes vibrationally. It's just mirroring what we vibrate on.
Right.
So that's been programmed there for decades.
Yeah.
And you've been practicing it for decades. So you haven't known your adult thinking, critical, analytical mind without those programs there.
Yeah.
So the idea, it's like trying to recognize it from inside the bubble. It's too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, in my experience with different medicines, with different healers, there's all different. I mean, I've just sort of been a connoisseur of these different things, and everybody's got a different way of going in and getting at the thing. And you can characterize it, like I said, as the toroidal field. You can characterize it as chakras. You can characterize it, and any, higher self connection, all of that. So I love it. It was great. I mean, for for those of you listening, since Lizzie and I worked together, I mean, I've dug myself out of high five figures of tax debt. I've got savings. I just put more than half down on a new car. I have, business flowing in. I've got business booked until, through the first quarter of next year.
Wow.
And I came from, was really struggling when I was
It was like an issue. I remember I felt guilty asking you to pay because
right.
you were in all that debt, and it stressed me out knowing that you were in all that debt.
Right.
And as abundance was flowing in, I was like, maybe pay off some of that debt now.
Yeah.
Don't go on that trip. Pay that fucking debt.
Pay
It's
that
stressing
fucking
me
debt.
out.
Yeah, and I did both. I've also been on trips all over the world, so
Yeah.
been very, very
Good to
lucky.
hear.
Yeah. So thank you. So that's why I wanted to have you on, so that more people could know that this is available. And it wasn't for lack of trying on my part. Trying all the things and beating my head against the wall. And sometimes it needs another approach. It needs the cleaning lady.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, at one point, was going to call myself the energetic cleaning lady.
Yeah.
But there was something that I was like, I don't want to, I'm not cleaning you. I'm just showing you and you clean you. That's why like the word healer has always given me the ick.
Yeah. I don't care for it either.
I don't want to be responsible for that.
And you're not, ultimately, everybody, and
right.
And that's like the name of the show is the permission slip, which comes from, I don't know if you've ever followed Bashar before, Daryl Anka. And he talks about all the different healing things that you go do are just permission slips that you give to yourself to be able to heal, to move to the next level.
I would say the number one piece of feedback that I've gotten about my work is that there's something about the way that the information comes through me that I'm putting words to something you have felt your entire life, but never been able to quite recognize or pinpoint. And once you recognize it, it automatically, it's like once something is, what's the line about like once something is viewed, it changes?
Yeah. Once it's, I mean, it's sort of like, in AA, right? The first step is admitting you have a problem. Like you got to identify that there's a problem. And then if you don't think there's a problem, if you don't see the thing, it's not ever going to move.
And for most of us, the stuckness that we feel, I know like I certainly felt so stuck. And I realized it was because I was pushing on two sides of the same door. So the universe was saying yes to whatever I was feeling. And then the next second I would feel the opposite. And when we're pushing with equal and opposite force, it can't move.
Yeah.
So for you, for a lot of us, I know this, I had to deal with this too with and of course, we're not just talking about financial abundance, but this came up for me as well.
Right.
I had the fear of making a shit ton of money and the fear of not. Yeah. So I couldn't really cross the threshold of like a certain number that felt safe. It felt like what my parents were making and what my friends and family were making. And so it felt like that's where I was supposed to stay. And I had to do all this work around, okay, what happens if I'm making more?
Who
and what happens if I don't?
who will I be if I make more, and what will happen to the old version of me?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
really even thinking about like what's my mom and my sister going to think about me if I'm making a lot more?
Which is ultimately, what are you going to think about you, right? Because it's never
Yes.
about the other. So what are you going to think about you? But
Yeah.
we
But it was
project
based on
it.
stories and comments that I heard as a child.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right? So that's where cleaning up all of that inner child stuff can really be helpful, I
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Same, yeah, same. I mean, it was a very similar story for me in that, I grew up in what was a fairly, affluent household by all standards, but it always felt poor, and
Right.
and then there was the generation before that, there was disdain for wealthy people.
And that's exactly what I was just going to bring up next is like, am I going to be one of those wealthy assholes? I literally had to do work around, am I going to have to wear uncomfortable clothes and go to like luncheon galas if I'm making a bunch of money? Then I was like, oh my God, if I have enough money, I don't have to do anything anybody tells me.
Right.
I'm completely fucking free. And that's
Right.
why I want this money.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then it started flowing more. And I also had to do the thing about like, what are the wealthy people going to think if I start making money?
Yeah,
And I was, yeah.
probably nothing because they're worried about themselves.
Right. They're certainly not worried about what Lizzi Cutler is up to. To my dismay.
Right. Yeah. And I had a very similar experience. And I love the analogy of like pushing against the door, because you first, you think there's fear that you're not going to have, like, I'll never have that.
Right.
I'm never going to
And
get that
the
thing.
universe says yes. Sure. I'll give you that experience of never having it.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, there's also a part of you that's going, oh God, who will I be if I have that?
Yeah.
And the whole thing I had the same thing with like rich people are all assholes. No, actually, there's a lot of really happy ones,
Yeah. And
really
really
nice
happy
ones.
and really generous and really fun and really playful. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you ever read Tufty the Priestess?
no.
Oh, it's a great book. It's written in a very condescending way from this like master towards you little worms or you little snails or something, but it's about this, what you're talking about, like with the two sides of the door. And the best analogy I got out of the book is the one about, you hear that everything's a mirror, right? That it's a projection and it's a mirror. And I was always like, yeah, okay, I guess. And what it took it to the next level and said, okay, let's imagine that you're looking into a mirror and you're feeling really constricted. You're like withholding, right? Like you don't want to give. You're all. What do you see in the mirror? You see that reflection of you. The flip side is, now, what if you're feeling generous, right? I had a fear of donating money, of giving money away, that there wouldn't be enough. My God, I can't give away money. I don't have enough money. But if I'm looking in the mirror when I'm giving away money, now my hand is out and that hand is giving
And
money to me in the mirror.
yeah,
It's
that's cool.
yeah. So that really landed.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Um, so you're working on the energy level, not physically at all. It's all energetic.
Right. Yeah. There have been times where I've done hands-on work. I'm still working on the energy, even
Hmm.
if I'm in person. I would say 99.9% of my work happens virtually, and I prefer it that way because when I'm in person, there are so many other distractions that I almost feel like I'm less impactful. I
Interesting.
actually went to a friend's house the other day to work on her daughter who was in crisis, and working on her in person, like I was happy to do it, and I would show up for a child in crisis at any moment.
Sure.
But like the dogs were running in and were messing with us and distracting me, and I was cold and I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just, there are all the other physical distractions versus if I'm in my space and you're in your space, everybody's really comfortable
Yeah.
and then I can just focus. So, yes, I'm working on the energetic level in all of the different types of sessions that I do. To me, like we're talking about the physical and we're talking about the tangible. And in every single session, I'm asking, again, our higher selves, okay, so what do you want them to do with that?
Hmm.
Like, give it to me in a way that is tangible. Because in a lot of like, I do quantum healing where we're essentially seeing 3 or 4 past lives, but a lot of people recently have been getting current lifetime childhood memories that they maybe didn't remember before and future, which is why I call it quantum.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting and trippy.
Yeah.
And recently, a client was asking, how can she tell the difference whether it's anxiety or an intuitive warning? Which I think we all want to know, right? Am I really not supposed to get on this train, or am I just being nuts?
Mm-hmm.
And her soul gave us information on how to recognize it, and like gave her kind of tangible tips of like, do this step one, this is step two, and then you'll know. And I was like, but how will she know? Where will
Right.
she feel it in her body? How
Yeah.
will it show up? Will it be an expansion or a contraction? Will it be chills up her spine? Like,
Yeah.
give me the dirty, dirty, dirty details. And because I want such specifics, that's what I'm kind of reaching for my clients,
Sure.
because nothing made me crazier in all the sessions that I did before I was doing this myself than people saying, just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. If I could, I wouldn't be sitting across from you right now. I would have done that ages ago.
Just be happy.
Right. Just
Right.
find joy.
Just find
We're
joy.
here to experience joy. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
How?
Right.
Where? This is not joyful.
It's not joyful. Right.
Yeah. So I think getting the tangibles is kind of one of my like sweet spots or secret sauces, or,
Yeah,
that's
for sure. And and again, you're not, are you empathic in that you feel you feel the blocks? Like, do you feel them in your body of where the people have them?
Yeah. My initial tell. So since we talked, I've started adding, I read photos. So someone can email me a photo of someone who's passed.
Yeah, I
And just
saw, yeah.
seeing the photo, I read them and get insight on what are the signs that they're sending and what do the signs mean and that kind of information. And when I'm doing something like that, it's like the light switch goes on, and I know the light switch is on because I feel something in my body. And that I've just over years of asking, I recognize that as my tell of like, all systems are go, we're plugged in.
Okay.
Right. So I feel that in my own body, and that's me. But then when I'm working on someone directly, like if I were to start scanning your body, I would feel, sometimes I feel in my body what's happening in your body,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can place where it is and what it is, or I'll see kind of clairvoyantly
Okay.
where something is, like again, like a kind of a cartoon shape where I'm like, okay, I'm in your low back on the left side, and there's something right above your hip bone, and it looks like a fat boat rope that's knotted off.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah. You told me like I had barbed wire wrapped around my, my chest, my solar plexus, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And then I'll hear, here's what we want you to do, Lizzie, to clear that for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get as far as I can. And then I'll say, is it cleared? And if it's a no, I'll ask if there's more that I should do. And if it's again a no, I'll say, is there something that he can do?
Right.
Want him to change.
Yeah, and sometimes there's breathing into a certain part of the body, or moving, or twisting, or yeah.
I don't usually get that. It's usually more of like a
I thought you got breathe. You said breathe into it, breathe.
but it's usually like a practice to do.
Okay.
Right? Like breathe right now and it'll go away. Maybe a little bit, but usually I'm getting like, they want you to change the way, we want to change your mindset around this thing. We want to change the story you're telling yourself around this. So every time you go back into that story, you're going to feel that thing as your guide's cueing you. Hey, jackass, you just did it again.
Right.
Right. So again, like now you have a tool of, oh, my back is tweaking. It's because I went back into the story of not having enough. Okay. Like shake the Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah.
And now, right. What is actually true right now?
Sure.
So yes, I am getting this all on a very energetic, non-tangible, non-physical level, but it's also kind of physical because I feel it in my body.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what we're here. Like we're here with these bodies. Like you're like,
Yeah.
like you're pinching this. Like, am I here again? Really? Like that's the vehicle.
I'm using the instruments as best I can.
Have you worked on people from the sciences? Met doctors? Have you people who were
Yeah.
traditionally sort of thought this was all bullshit?
Oh yeah. So one of my first experiences, I was guiding a family member who's in the medical field. He's actually the chairman of a hospital, like
Okay.
still a surgeon and, very much in the science world.
Yeah.
And was like, this was maybe 10 years ago. And he was like, I'm really interested in meditation. I'm reading all these great things about it. Next time you're in town, let's meditate. So we're in there, we're meditating. And I got a message for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was adopted into our family, and I got a message for him. And so when we came out of the meditation, I said, I'm hearing this for you. And he turned white. He said, what you're describing is my childhood home. There's absolutely no way you would know that.
Yeah.
What that looked like. And I literally said, do you think I'm schizophrenic? And he said, no, because you're seeing something that was real. You're not like seeing things that aren't here, but holy fuck, Lizzie.
Right.
I was like, what do I do? Like what, so he and I became very close, and we were close, but like really started working on this stuff. And there have been times where like he'll send me a photo of someone that he's having a meeting with, or he'll ask me to help with certain things that he's going through, or, you know, I think that I know that he respects me, and I know that he doesn't quite understand the details behind it. And even sometimes when I'll say to him, this is happening to my body, what do you think is happening? He'll laugh and say like, I don't know what to do with you.
Right.
I can't. I don't know.
You're not in any of the books. There's none of the textbooks.
Right. I went through this really hard time earlier this year where I was like, I might need to go on antidepressants. Like, this is not okay. I'm not in a good place. And he said, I want you to know I'm watching, and I see you, and I am paying attention, and I will let you know, like, if you're there and you're telling me you're there, I support you.
Right.
But if you're asking me, I will watch you and I'll let you know. But I think you're going through one of your weird things.
Yeah.
And like, I got you, I'm watching you. So,
and you were.
Yeah. And I came out of it, and I could hear at the time they were saying, just hold still.
Right.
And I was like, I can't for very much longer. And they were like, I know, just hold still.
And was it an up leveling? Was it like were you moving through old stuff that was still?
I think so. It felt like it was, like I did Iboga years ago.
Okay.
And in Iboga, I literally was laying flat on a mat for 24 hours. I did not get up. I did not pee. I needed help lifting my head to sip water.
Yeah,
I was Velcroed to this mat.
Heavy stuff.
And through it, there were so many hours, I don't know how long, it felt like someone was pulling out like a t-shirt from second grade in the back of my closet saying, do you want to keep this? No.
Like everything, inventory.
And so slow.
Uh-huh.
Do you want, and I am an impatient girl.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no, let's just go. Just wipe it all out. I don't care. Let me keep what's important for me and what will help me, and take everything else out. I don't care. And it was like, do you want to keep this? Oh my God.
a ringing endorsement for Ebola right here.
God, it was intense. And I would say end of January, like that whole eclipse season and the whole, like whatever was happening at the beginning of this year was as tedious and heavy and hard.
Interesting.
As that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I feel like now I've come up, I don't know that my skills are any more on point, but I definitely feel like I can breathe again, and I'm not like, fuck this human experience.
Right.
As much.
Right. As much. As much.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody who's stuck, right? Like what's the, I run into, a lot of people are stuck. They just don't, there's, a lot of things are shifting right now.
Yeah.
In this world.
So I think I would say for someone who's a beginner to this spirit world, and who is stuck, start with something small. Like start with, if you're not going to do any sessions with anybody else, I would say start with the question of, what am I telling myself? Mm-hmm. Right? So when I notice for me, when I get triggered, the first step is noticing when you get triggered, what does your body do? Then the next time I feel it, okay, I just got triggered. What was I just thinking about? What story was I just having in my head? And even if it's that someone says something to me, what am I telling myself about what she just said?
Yeah, you got to like wind the tape back.
Exactly. I think about, we're old school, but I think about answering machines when we would come home and like play the tape and then rewind it.
Yeah.
To clear it. Like you got to rewind and think, what was I just telling myself? And then I ask, is it a fact? If it's not a fact, what is a fact right now? Right. So I'm 45, single, no kids, clearly not going to have kids. And so sometimes when things come up like a Mother's Day or I just went on a family trip with 45 family members, and everything is about like family's the most important and all that matters is your family. And I was like, I don't have a fucking family.
Right. Right.
So the trigger for me goes into you're all alone. You're going to be alone and you don't have anybody. And I have to ask like, okay, right now, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have an emergency phone call? Yeah, I have a bunch. Does everyone with kids guaranteed have someone to take care of them when they're old? No,
No.
that's not a guarantee. And right. So I literally answer my fear as if I'm talking to my 7-year-old self who's like, holy shit, the house is on fire. What just happened? So to me, that's the first step of getting out of being stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you're ready to go deeper, I honestly don't know how you do this on your own from inside, right? Because it's like me trying to say the way that you call the sky blue, we're actually all calling that green.
Right.
So I don't really know how to help somebody do it on their own.
Well, and I think that speaks to things like breath work, psychedelics, ways of altering your current consciousness, because it's very hard. It's like the David Foster Wallace book, This is Water. It was a commencement speech at Kenyon College, and there's two fish swimming along, and one fish says to the other fish, "What's water?"
Right.
Right? And like you're in it. You don't know what it is because you're fucking in it.
Right.
You got to get out of it to go, "Oh, I'm in that."
Yeah. And that honestly is where I think whether it's you come and see me as an intuitive or an astrologer or a tarot reader or whoever, to just start opening your mind of like, okay, there's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
And if there's more than meets the eye, I've got to admit I don't have it all. And so now I got to get curious.
Right.
And in my view, like it's about following the next little nugget on the yellow brick road of now I'm intrigued by this. Now I'm intrigued by this. What's next? And I actually remember hanging out with you and you had mentioned toad.
Yeah. Bufo.
And I like knew that I was supposed to do it.
Right.
I knew I wasn't meant to do ayahuasca anymore. I knew there were so many moments where I was like, yes, I don't care how much it costs, I'm doing it. And other times where something would come up and I was like, that sounds like a lot. And like, I don't know. And I guess maybe that's a no.
Right. And that's how I was with you, because like I barely had 2 nickels to rub together at the time, but I'm like, okay, yeah, this feels right, and I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And it goes, I think it goes back. I always like to bring things back to the body, because that's been my journey, has been through moving out of intense physical pain and locked downness. And so anything that you can do, fascial work, anything you can do to open the body so that you can listen to the body, so that you can get that message that says, yes, sit with the bufo, no, don't do this, etc.
I'm going to change my answer. So if you're stuck, I'm going to say the very first step is lay down in the middle of your living room floor, close your eyes, and ask out loud or internally, show me yes and show me no. And then ask a zillion yes, no questions. Is my name Lizzie? Do I live in Chicago? Am I in a condo? Am I in a male body?
Right.
Start asking blatant yes, no questions so that you can learn your yes, no.
And I love that, because I've known about muscle testing, kinesiology, for a couple of years, but I didn't really trust it. And I just came out of a 10-day fast that I finished up about a week ago, and started leaning in, had been toying with it. And the way for me right now that I get a yes and no is to stand a little loose, ask for a yes, and I get a tip forward.
Totally. I love that one.
And it's slow, and I wanted fast, right? I wanted to be able to do with the fingers, and I want,
Yeah. I actually trust that muscle testing way less than I trust. For a lot of people, when I'm teaching this, it's either in their gut, it's in their throat, it's in their pelvic floor. For women, your vagina doesn't know how to lie to you.
Sure.
She is literally the ultimate truth.
The portal.
Meter.
Yeah.
So like, I will ask, show me yes, and then show me no, and I will feel it.
You'll feel it.
Yeah. So, and I know that men have like the same pelvic floor awareness, but for
ability
women
to have the awareness, they don't all have it, but yeah.
Right. We're taught, especially as women, we're taught to override it, right? Most women have said yes when we meant no, because it was easier. It was a safer option. It was an easy, whatever the answer.
Right.
So if you, again, lay on your floor when no one's home and feel into that, that to me, I trust more than like the yes, no with muscle testing, or like I test on my knee all the time.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing when I'm working with people, when I'm testing for those words, I'm testing on my knee. But for some reason, when I'm making like life decisions, I think I trust my pussy more than I trust.
That's good. That's good to know. It's great advice.
I
Because
trust my solar plexus. I trust my throat. Like my body doesn't know how to lie to me.
yeah, no, it can't. And I mean, the solar plexus is my seat of ultimate awareness. Like when, like this podcast came about because I lit up with electricity, which I'm told is from my solar plexus, and that's my authority in the human design realm
Yeah, cool.
of things. And so, but it's not something that I can get in the moment. Like, should I, like, do I want coconut water? That's not like the solar plexus isn't going to light up. But if I see, like we talked about, I went and did the whole ISTA thing. Like I looked at the calendar for ISTA and my whole, I was like getting electrocuted, like, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And so I love that advice because I'd go back and tell everybody, yes, your body is the portal. Your body knows.
Yeah. When I think about that, and you think like your body doesn't know how to lie that you're nauseous. Your body doesn't know how to lie that you have to pee.
Right.
It can't lie to you. You can dismiss it and you can disregard the messages, but she doesn't know how to lie.
No, it's only
So,
truth.
right. So even when I'm going to, like, I'll get a message or I'll feel in my body, like, don't call him again. Don't go on that date again. Don't do that thing again. And I'll be like, well,
Maybe it'll be different.
maybe you don't know. And I'll go knowing that I'm going against those
Yeah.
warnings. And so then when I'm there and like I see why it was a no, I'll giggle.
Yeah.
Instead of like, how could that have happened? Right. I'm in a more empowered state. It doesn't mean that you have to listen 100% of the time.
Right.
It just means you have access to those answers.
Yeah. No, that's a great piece of advice that ultimate, and it's what I, keep hearing as I, do this work. Ultimately the answer is within. And,
Yeah.
and it can be really fucking frustrating to be like the answer. Where's the, if it's, where do I get it? How do I get the, oh, get it?
Yeah. I also just want to throw out there. So I just started doing these, I'm calling them spirit message readings, these like readings for dead people. And I always knew that I could do them, but it felt weird to like put it out there. And so I started putting it out there. And I am certainly second guessing myself as the info is coming through and like, gee, I hope I get it right. And
Yeah.
I got feedback from someone saying, here are all the things that were right, and here are a few things that weren't accurate.
Mhm.
Right. And I was like, okay, Lizzie, choice moment here. Are you going to focus on the things that you didn't get right? Or are you going to focus on you just saw a photo of somebody and got 90% of who they are as a human,
Right.
and got a few things wrong. So are you going to focus on the 90% that were right or the 10% that were wrong? And I like to now play the game of I'm allowed to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, okay, if your body tells you something and you read it wrong, who fucking cares?
Right.
Just practice it and play with it anyway. Let it be more playful.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and the whole, like we live in a duality, so we're wrapped around this thing of there's a right and a wrong, and there's a black and a white, and like maybe it just came through, maybe it wasn't wrong, maybe it was right in a different context, but they didn't have the context. What's that?
By the way, then in all of these things where they're like, well, that's accurate, but that's not so much. But she did actually, now that I think about it, and I'm like, fuck you. Like that.
Yeah, don't, right. You're messing with my mojo here.
Confidence.
I gotta be 100% right all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been more fun to me. All of this work has been way more fun when it doesn't have to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when clients come to me, and again, we usually do an intro session before I offer up. And now I do a group where I do that. So it's not as expensive to work, to do the work.
Out. Yeah.
But I like to talk to people first because I really feel like if you're, and I don't have judgment on this, honestly, if you're still in the camp of needing to be right and needing to talk about how other people wronged you and were wrong, they might have been really fucking wrong.
Right.
And I'm okay with every now and then saying like, by the way, that's really fucked up. And okay, now let's get back to work. But like, I'm so sorry that happened.
Yeah.
If you can't get there yet, then this deeper level, I'm not saying you're not there yet, but it's not going to serve you and it's not worth your money.
Right. To be, yeah, to tread light, like to be able to go lightly with it and not take everything so personally and come to some level of forgiveness. I mean, ultimately, it is my belief that it's our, that's the path is you got to forgive all the little slights, the big slights, all of the things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've noticed in every single thing that I've done and that I do and that I seek, everything that I'm getting back to 100% is getting back to self-love,
Mhm.
which is so not sexy or fun or intriguing to talk about.
Right.
Like from a marketing standpoint, none of us walk around like, gee, I wish I had more self-love, right? Like, I wish I had a partner who's obsessed with me, or I wish I had more money so that I could be on a yacht right now, or to
Yeah.
help somebody who's in need, right? Like,
Right.
and 100%, whether it was Aya or any of the plant medicines or any of the things, the people that I've worked with, the intuitives, it's always been about, well, my message throughout, every person that's read for me says, they're saying you need to own your power
Mm-hmm.
everywhere I go. And I'm like, I know, I really want to. I don't know where I'm not,
Right.
and I don't know how to do it better. And everything I kept getting back to is love you, and then you are the most powerful. That's it. Like all of the swords come down.
Yeah.
Everything goes away once you decide you're worthy and you are obsessed with you.
Yeah.
So
But
I feel like,
that runs 180 degrees counter to just about the way every single person was raised.
right,
Because it's
every teaching is about being selfless.
yeah,
Yeah,
and doing for the other and looking for the fulfillment outside of yourself.
100%.
The cruise, the man who's obsesses over you,
Right.
Prince Charming, like, being
100%.
chosen,
Yeah.
working hard at the job, going after it and getting it, right? It's all, and we're really moving into this, a reversal in the world of how we were trained to be.
I gotta say, I felt like the Barbie movie of all things
Mm-hmm.
did the most remarkable job of nailing that dead on the head.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, because it showed the extremes.
Yeah. But just the true and total acceptance and celebration of all and celebration of self and others and one not taking away from the other. And it feels like every plant medicine that I've done is like pulling off some piece of, all right, Toots, you also learned that you're not allowed, you're supposed to have hair right here on your eyebrow. But if you have that same exact hair lower on your lip, you're an ogre.
Right.
And those few inches makes you worthy or not.
Or
And a full head of hair, but
yeah,
if there's any on your arms, you're a monster.
a monster.
So let's sort this out. Go
Yeah.
pour hot wax on yourself and have someone rip it off. Because then he'll pick you. Then he'll want you.
Then he'll want you. Yeah.
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 Then the Prince Charming will come and he'll want
Uh-huh.
you. Yeah.
So yeah, like doing all that work to peel off the layers, be able to giggle at it and try to have some fun with it, and then get into the piece of like I really try on as many times a day as I can to get like my third eye to turn inward
Mm.
and say like, hi,
Mm.
you, hi,
Aye.
love you. Oh my God, hi, friend.
Right. Right.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. So you're working. So how can people engage? You talked about you're doing the group sessions for intros, or you're doing group sessions for you can do an intro and then get into a group. How does it?
So for someone who is sort of either at not necessarily the beginner level, but just wants to like dip their toe into the Lizzi Cutler experience,
Mhm.
I offer a monthly group alignment, which is where everybody lays down on Zoom. I clear the room, and it's where I'm getting into like the cleaning lady of it all. This is what I'm cleaning off. This is what's happening. This is what's here. And then usually 30 to 40 minutes in, I have these wings that come out of my back and I raise the vibration. Usually around that time, people fall asleep and are knocked out, which I don't understand why. But even the people that are wide awake are like, something just happened and I was out.
Mhm.
And that's when I'm raising the vibration. That's a great, like, what does this feel like? What does it look like? It's not going to be the most impactful because I'm working on 20 to 30 people at once and it's a
Yeah.
good taste.
And it's you're working on collective issues that everybody has sort of in common.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually been told that because that happens to me sometimes in guided meditations and other things. I did this plasma light healing chamber thing for 5 days up in Washington. And I was told by my guides that I was being just taken back so that my ego was out of the picture.
Yeah. I heard
Less
that a lot when
resistant.
people would fall asleep in Aya,
Yeah,
that
less
like she's
resistance.
getting you out of the way.
Yeah, you're
So she
fighting it, right?
yeah. So that's one way. And then I've also started doing these things that I'm calling clarity hour, where everybody can hop on. I'll pick a few people at random, kind of like a gallery reading,
Yeah.
and do like 5 minutes per person of this is who you are, this is what's going on, these are where the blocks are, this is how they want you to change the mindset around this issue.
Okay.
Just again to kind of give a taste.
Sure.
And then anyone can book a one-on-one alignment. And that's on my website. And it's 1 hour where I work specifically on you to call out and clean up anything that I can clean up. And that's blocking sort of your highest good or your soul's potential, and get as many details and insights as to how to keep it clean moving forward. And then the other way that I let people just book a one-off session is to book a quantum healing.
Mhm.
Right now it's called a past life quantum healing. But again, like sometimes we see past lives, sometimes we see future, but that's why I call it quantum.
Yeah.
It's kind of all fields.
I mean, is it the Dolores Cannon lineage?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
I trained in the QHHT,
Yeah.
but while I'm in there, I'm also being told to clear energy, to remove things. I had a client who was stabbed and had a pain in this lifetime where she was stabbed in the past, and I cleaned it up.
Yeah.
It went away.
Hang on.
So stuff like that. Yeah. And that's a 3 hour session where we see 3 to 4 lifetimes and then call in your soul. And we're having a direct conversation with your soul, asking questions like, why does my knee hurt?
Mhm.
Why does my mom trigger me? How do I create more money?
Mhm.
How do I feel more safe?
Mhm. Mhm.
What's my soul's purpose? So those are the ways to just like have a one-off. And then if we choose to go deeper, I have ways to go deeper.
Great.
I'm curious, what is the way that you would explain what I do? That question you had asked me earlier, like, how do I put words to this?
I would tell people that you go in at an energetic level, at a level that I don't perceive, and but you guide, but there was guidance. So you guide. It's almost it feels almost hypnotic, because I get very relaxed, and then you were, because I think I did one or two of the groups after the fact, but I'm more of a one-on-one connoisseur. And so it was I would say that Lizzi gets you gets you very relaxed, creates an internal dialogue in order to have you guide her to the things that are blocking the flow, and then you remove those through whatever, call it psychic surgery, call it roto rooter, the cleaning lady.
Snaking it out there.
You're like the physical, energetic manifestation of ayahuasca. Just clean that out of there. Just
Yeah.
a little,
The energetic plumber.
yeah, the energetic plumber. There you go, Mrs. Plumber, Miss Plumber.
Yeah, that's so sexy. Lovely.
Okay, I can see the logo now. It just, the copy writes itself.
The physical manifestation of ayahuasca without the puking and shitting your face off.
Right.
Lovely.
Right. But that's where the fun is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've actually, I haven't talked to you in a while. I've actually kind of wrapped up my medicine work. I did 7 years.
Wow.
And I moved on from that. Like, not that I'll never do it again, but I was shown very clearly. I was enrolled in a deep dive, a 3-year course. I went on this retreat in Mexico.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and after that retreat, there was just a very deep knowing. Like we talk about listening to your body, and it was just like, this is not your thing. And so I honored that, and I stepped away.
Awesome.
My ego had to do a little bit of being upset, but
Yeah.
the medicine is amazing. What's that?
I'm glad you listened.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. And it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah. I actually was going to join this group thing, I think last winter. I kind of felt like guilty, like I should and I should. And then I was like,
For
I
medicine.
really don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, but the opportunity is there and this guy is coming in from some fancy thing and like I should go and I should experience it. And I kept being told like, you haven't experienced it in this way. And I was like, I literally don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't want to drink it. I don't
Right.
want to feel.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, mama.
Yeah.
No, when it's really our time to
When it's
dance.
really our time. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do this.
I had my last Bufo session was like 3.5 months ago, and I was all excited for it to, because so many things have opened up with that medicine, and it was,
Yeah.
and during the trip, I kept being like, when's it going to be over? But it was like, when's the big it going to be over? And it's like, no, it's not ever. Like,
Yeah.
it's not ever over.
That to me is the tantrum that I was having for the last 6 months.
Yeah. When's it going to be over?
The infinity of it all.
Yes.
Of like, well, no.
We should probably cut this out. We'll cut this part out. People will be like, no, I don't want to do this work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's intense. And I gotta say, like since doing, obviously like the medicine, the plant medicine was helping me develop all of this and teaching me so much. And I'm very grateful that I got to do it. And I'm so grateful that I get to do this and not sit in fluorescent lights
Right.
at a desk job. And like, I was really having a hard time, like not just an existential crisis, but more of a, I don't know that this can ever end. It's just going to keep going. And like, oh my God, I'm bored. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Uh-huh. That was where you were going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people would say like, but don't you want to see? And in 15 years, think about how I was like, I honestly don't care.
Uh-huh.
Like, honestly, I'm happy that all these happy things are going to happen and good for them.
Right.
I
Right.
don't feel like I care about seeing them. Like,
Yeah.
that's not reason enough for me to keep doing this.
Yeah. And that's great. And I'm so glad you shared that, because one of the things that I've struggled with on this path is like, well, I'm healed, I'm healing, I'm supposed to be happy all the time. I'm not supposed to have, those kind of thoughts, or I can't go out until I have X money in the bank and this kind of job and this girlfriend. I can't, what I have to say isn't legitimate.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's this like checklist that we think that we have to check off in order to be okay.
Well, I think what you're saying is be worthy of sharing with others.
Be worthy of sharing with others. Yeah, which I think is tangential to it feels related to what you're saying about just because we've done all this work, just because we're on this, path of healing, like every day is a dream.
Right. Yeah.
Right? That because that's part of it for me is like, well, I have down weeks or whatever, and who am I to go, tell somebody how they should, who am I to help somebody if I'm not happy all the time?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I definitely think that anybody who says they don't have a bad day, I think they're lying.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, to me, it's more of what do I do with the bad day and less about how do I make the bad day not happen?
Yeah, I'm doing my best to look at it like what am I calling to myself in this? What am I being shown? What am I supposed to be learning from this? Because there's resistance to something.
Yeah, I've been having kind of a mind fuck around that.
You have, okay. Tell me.
I have done deep dives into the law of attraction and like, okay, I'm going to give a full month of like fully being all in on Abraham Hicks and do the whole thing and Bashar, and the part that I can't wrap my head around, and I've asked the guides about this, but so you're telling me that a child attracted being raped.
Right.
Because they weren't thinking happy thoughts. I can't wrap my head around that.
Mm.
Right. Or a child attracted having leukemia because they weren't right. Like it doesn't all track. So I like using those things as a tool to help me when they feel effective. But I think when I think that for me, it's worked to use these as different theories. Like the mirror thing is a theory. The universe always says yes as a theory.
Mhm.
The law of attraction is a theory versus this is a fact.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
how it goes.
Right. There's only sort of one fact. Like there's like we exist. Like
Yeah.
that's about the only fact that you can hang your hat on anymore
Yeah.
is that you exist. You can't not exist.
Right. And even after doing, so I did Toad 3 times now.
Oh, you have no. Okay.
The last time I did it was the end of January of this year. And after that, I think even before that, but really after that, I was like, okay, so am I like, is there one soul
Mm,
that's pin like triggering out to everyone
right.
at the oneness? Because if we're all oneness, where's the uniqueness? Like, is this just one? There's one ball of energy and a bunch of mirrors around. And really, what I was thinking about was at Yad Vashem in Israel, which is the Holocaust Museum. There's like a section for the children who died. There were 1 million children that died in the Holocaust. And so you walk into this incredible um, space where there's one candle burning, and this incredible artist set up mirrors so that there are 1 million flames
Mm,
or
mm,
1 million images from this one flame.
mm-hmm.
Right. So after Toad, I was like, okay, so is that the way this works, where we're all in one computer and those are just different reflections? And like I trip out on those kind of things.
Yeah. Same.
And then when I try to think, all right, so if that's the case, then surely I can time jump to another one.
Mm,
And when I've asked, I hear you don't get to know that yet.
mm-hmm.
Like I get swipe, my hand gets slapped out of the cookie jar. Like
Yeah.
you're
All in good time.
hold that.
Yeah.
That was sweet that you tried.
Yeah, good for you. A for effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a moment in an ayahuasca ceremony years ago where I saw myself like in a trolley, and there were these beings, almost, it felt like Oompa Loompas were like ahead of me in these little carts.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, but I can't be here because I'm over there doing Aya right now. And they started laughing and they go, oh, she's trying to get it. That's cute. Her human brain is trying to understand. And I was like, well, just tell me. Like, I'm smart enough to understand it. I get these concepts. Tell me what the fuck is going on.
Right.
And so I feel like now I'm in this 1 foot in, 1 foot out, where like I'm almost able to get it. And I'm about to poke my finger through the Truman Show.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, let's just go.
Yeah.
This whole slow, like your body can't hold all that energy yet. You can't do it. I'm like, come on.
Well, have you experienced Kundalini coming up?
Yes.
Not on medicine?
Yeah. That was my first like huge moment in meditation.
Okay. Because I have had the experience too. It's intense. I mean, and that's, I know somebody who had the Kundalini experience and went outside the Truman Show. Like had to go to the psych ward.
Oh, wow.
Like it's,
Wow.
and then for months afterwards, light was streaming out of everybody and plants and everything was just light. So like I've been told like, what's that?
Won't ask for too much then.
I was like, she said to me like, no, you don't really want this.
Yeah, I don't want that, but I want to either be on the other side and not
That's
have to
it.
like when I read a photo of someone who's dead,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, you're so free.
Uh-huh.
You're just so free. And I always use the example of like women will understand this. Like when we had to wear skinny jeans and like the tight shirt, the tight bra strap, right? All of that. It's like when you come home and you put your comfies on.
Uh-huh.
And just that feeling of like, oh my God, my skin can breathe again.
Yeah. Well, that's like Ram Dass says, it's dying is like taking off a tight shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Right. And you're finally just let me breathe.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was kind of my early 2025.
Okay.
My season was all about like, I don't want to die for the sake of dying, but I'm pretty sure that when I die, if I'm the creator of this experience of Lizzi Cutler, then all the other characters in the Lizzi Cutler movie, just like they're just reflections of me. So if I end the movie, the reflections of me just stop flickering and it's fine.
Oh yeah, I think it's
Why do
fine
I have to stay here?
because you're learning things.
Am I though? Right? Like I keep hearing stories of like these uber wealthy people getting, uber wealthy and
Oh,
hoarding it. I'm
oh,
like, so boring.
it's so boring. It's right.
Let me win the lotto so I can hand it all out. Like that would be fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
Right? Let me just give it all away for
Give
the
it
rest
all.
of my life. I would want to stick around for that.
Yeah, like Bill Gates, right? Just yeah, just handing it out or
Right. Right. Mackenzie Scott is
I was to
really
say
like
Yeah, Bezos is ex, yeah.
it's my dream situation.
Right.
Like no one telling me what to do. No, like the board says, like, fuck the board. I am the board.
I am the board. Well,
I
ultimately, I
really
think
don't care.
isn't that the lesson that we're that's the lesson I'm trying to figure out is that I'm the damn board. What I get to, I mean, I
Yeah.
get to create the back. Other interesting bit about that Tufty the Priestess book that puts it. It's like kind of like you're talking about the flickering, whatever. But life's a film strip. Look at it as like a movie, and where we get stuck is that we're trying to change the frame that's playing right now. We're resisting that frame, but that's already happened. That
Right.
frame is already in the projector. We have to change the frame that's coming next. So that's what I'm working on. How do I change the frame that's coming? And I've had tastes of it. Like
Yeah.
I've had tastes of it, like of making it happen, of manifesting, like, oh yeah. But then back to your thing about pushing on both sides of the door, it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be that powerful.
Right. Right. I think of, so like a year ago, I was using that projector analogy, which is interesting that you're bringing it up. And I was saying, like, in school, when they would press the button and it would go ching and move to the next one,
The slide project, the
from
slide.
like 5 days ago, right? Like the scene that you're seeing is what you were thinking about 5 days ago. So
Right,
see it,
right.
observe it,
Yes.
and then know, like, when I press the button, it shifts,
Yeah.
it moves.
And I think that the 5 days ago, given the energy that's coming, that we're moving into now, that interval is shrinking.
Yeah, I hope so.
That
Yeah.
it's getting quicker. And back to the and I struggle with this, but it's the body and it's feet, and people have said this for years. It's like you have in Abraham Hicks, right? You have to feel it. Bashar, what do you want it to feel like in your body?
Wait, you literally just reminded me. So last night was this month's group alignment. Oh shit, there was something that I said where I literally said to everybody, please remind me of this tomorrow. But they were telling me something to the effect of, it's not, oh, they were saying we need to go and be more playful like we were when we were 6 or 7
Yeah, yeah.
before we had any inhibitions, and not playing of like, I'm going for a walk on the lake and it's going to be beautiful and I'm getting my steps in and I'm listening to a fun podcast, because there's still all this like intention behind it
Yeah.
versus like, I'm going to just play, because when you're in that play mode, your vibration rises so high
Yeah.
that that's when it can all come in. But when you're doing it for the sake of manifesting it, you've already dropped your vibration down so low. That's why the old school way of manifesting doesn't work
Doesn't
anymore.
work anymore. Yeah, it's the play. And I definitely need more play for sure.
And I think for me and maybe for you, I don't really know how to play anymore. Like this weekend, I have 3 nights of fish and I'm so excited. And that's where I go and that's my happy place. And like, the world can fuck off and I dance like a lunatic and I don't care.
Right.
And other than that, like I don't really know where to go to just play.
Yeah. And it's a problem in this world.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we kind of had it like burned out of us somehow. I don't know, like I mean,
Completely
you don't
forgot.
drink, I don't drink, like that's and that's not a good way to raise your vibration to playing that way.
No. No.
Um,
And it was taught out of us,
yeah, on purpose.
right?
Yeah,
This is how you play.
right.
Sure, we're going to call this play, but don't be a lunatic.
I mean, we were lucky, and me even more so, I think, because I'm a little bit older than you, that we had this freedom, this latchkey kind of freedom.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old, and my buddy and I would ride 20 miles on our bikes, and my mother had no cell phones, they had no fucking idea where we were.
Right. I have the same thing. When the lights come on the streets is when you got to come
Better
home.
be home, yeah.
Yeah.
And we just did whatever, and kids can't do that these days because you'd be like locked up if you did that with your kids.
Right. And I mean, we don't need to get into this whole conversation, but as someone who doesn't have kids, I watch my sister. My sister actually is amazing at doing that with her kids. She's like, go to the park,
Uh-huh.
go to the pond and play, go get on your bike and go.
Yeah.
They have like the watch thing so she can see where they are. But she's like, we live in the burbs. Like most kidnappings happen from someone within the family. No one's, they're going to bring it back.
Right. Right. They don't want them.
So I think people are starting to do that again, probably because it's our generation now having the kids.
Right. And saying like, okay, something's got to change.
Yeah. And that was really fun. And we don't want to miss that.
Right.
But really, I'm still friends with some of those people. And we'll be like, remember how we like had this bike path and we called it Great America and we would go around the world and like, remember when so-and-so did this and you flung over your bike and we had to like figure out how to get you home because we couldn't call and say like, you think Davin just broke his heart?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Made it home.
Yeah.
So I feel like I did get that. I just don't really know how to, like, to me, when I go for a bike ride now, it feels very playful. It feels very childlike because I'm not out there trying to get miles.
Right. Steps, miles, track it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an exercise thing. So, or like I used to take a dance class that was really fun, but there were mirrors and I wanted to be the cool girl who like could dance, like, aren't I so good? I would still get into that. I was like, shit, I wish there weren't mirrors and then I couldn't see what I look like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. I took some dance lessons last summer as well. It was fun.
It's just fun to move your body and not think about it. But, I think it's a hard thing and something that we're playing with of like, okay, how do I play for the sake of play?
Yeah. Because that's like you said, that's where the vibration goes up and that's where the expansion happens and the timeline jumps.
I have been very clearly told the old school way of manifesting of like think it and then get the details on it and live a day life that like out the window. Stop doing
that.
It's not working.
Okay.
It hasn't worked in a long time. I think a lot of the people that are on Instagram who are like, I manifested my life. Like, did you though?
Right.
Or right. Is this just what you're presenting? And like, so I think a lot of it is bullshit anyways, but like that's why I work on clearing the old beliefs and clearing the old patterns and all that. And then what I'm hearing again is the get into play.
Get into play.
Esther Hicks says all the time, go have fun.
Go have fun. Yeah.
What she doesn't say is like, well, nothing is fun. I don't know how to have fun.
I forgot how.
Beat that out of me.
But you're going to fish. That'll be fun. Are they here in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, this has been my thing since, college.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I live in the West Loop and being able to walk to the United Center and walk home. So to be able to walk to and from my own shower in my own bed is like in college, I'd be like, wouldn't it be amazing?
Right, look what you manifested.
I manifested it. I did. I keep my own words.
You did fish right down the street.
I did. Yeah. Actually, my college buddy is coming in. I'm like, you're welcome to stay here, but I only have a couch for you. Like I don't have a 2-bedroom place.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm too cool for a couch now? Like, who do you think I am? You know me better than anybody. Like, I slept on the floor.
Yeah, the couch is a step up.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, Lizzie, thanks so much. This was great to reconnect.
Alrighty.
All right. Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Have fun at fish.